every single deed, لا يغادر صغيرة ولا كبيرة إلا أحصاها. Yeah, doesn't big or small, that it's going to be enumerated to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this should wake us up and remind us, brothers and sisters, we weigh our weight when when we're looking after our health. We weigh ourselves. We weigh our food. We count our wealth. We should also be considering, counting our deeds and weighing our deeds. That every day, we at the end of the day, we look into our life if we're serious, and in regards to our good deeds and our bad deeds, and ensure that our good deeds surpass our bad deeds. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala moves on to the first battle in history and the creation of Adam alayhi salatu wasalam. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala already spoke about this in Surah Al-Baqarah, but now He brings it a bit more in depth and shows us a little bit about the psychology of shaitan. And he reminds us, what is the sin of shaitan? What is it? أَنَا خَيْرٌ مِنْهُ. That it's kibr, this arrogance of shaitan. This is what led to his destruction. That min as-saghirin, becomes from the humiliated ones. Right? That Adam also made a mistake, right? But he had humility. But arrogance, it's something else. This arrogance, shaitan doubles down now after sinning. Now he doubles down and he makes a promise that he will do his best to misguide the children of Adam, and that he will wait on Surat Al-Mustaqim, that he will wait in front of us, behind us, to our right, to our left, right? Wanting to misguide us. Where does he not? What direction can he not? Up. Why? Yeah, Revelation. Revelation is above. Coming back to the beginning of Surah, right? That's our link to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he can never attack us from above. But here also, at the end, he says, وَلَا تَجِدُ أَكْثَرُهُمْ شَاكِرِينَ. That I will make them go astray. And then he says, I'll come to every direction except above, and certainly most of them will not be from the grateful ones. Now, he didn't say most of them won't be from the believers, most of them won't be from the obedient, most of them won't be from the grateful. Why? In reality, it's this gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our two sins in this world that take people away is arrogance and negligence. And being grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it defeats both of these. One, from a negligence perspective, that when we acknowledge that bounties are from the Creator, we acknowledge that now we're obedient, we're aware of all the bounties that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us. Imagine somebody gave you a gift, maybe a thobe or a jumper. Now, in front of that person, would you use that gift in the wrong way? You would never, right? You would never do it. They brought you a gift. You're not going to use it in the wrong way. Same thing, that when we recognize the gift of our eyesight, the gift of our bodies, the gift of our heart, the gift of our health, is all from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Raqib, Basir. He's watching us. Then we won't use those gifts in the wrong way. And that's why gratitude is one of the greatest bounties and one of the highest forms of worship to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And also kibr is the same, right? That a person who is arrogant, he can't be arrogant and grateful at the same time, right? It's impossible. And this is why it's so important. قَلِيلٌ مِنْ عِبَادِ الشُّكُورِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that very few of our slaves are grateful, right? Something that we have to constantly work on, even in this month of Ramadan, that we constantly are aware of the bounties of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings us some of the psychology and the tricks of shaitan, how he tried to deceive Adam. Is there a doctor available here? There was just an accident. Someone may be injured. Can anybody assist? Anybody with medical? Inshallah. Barakallahu feek. Okay. Allah protect, inshallah. And then we see shaitan, look how he deceives Adam, right? Adam's in Jannah. He's got everything he needs. But the one thing he can't do is eat from the tree, right? The tree of eternity. And what does shaitan do? He uses this to persuade him. And think about it, this is in our own lives. Shaitan will constantly try and deceive us. He will remind us of all the things that we don't have instead of the things that we do have, right? So we become desirous of that, or we have despair that we haven't been given absolutely everything. And he uses this trap always. with us, just as He used it as on our father. Now also, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about that when Adam commits that sin, that their clothes were removed, their nakedness appeared, right? And this is the reality, this haya that is so much part of our deen, this modesty that we have. When we commit a sin, then this reduces our modesty. And Rasulullah told us that if a person doesn't have haya, فَفْعَلْ مَا شِئْتَ, that when you don't, then you do as you please. He told us, شُعْبَةٌ مِّنَ الْإِيمَانِ, that this haya is actually a branch of faith. And he said that every deen, every religion came with a quality. And he says the haya is the quality of this deen of Islam. So this is something that we always have to develop. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala moves forward, and then He brings the summation of everybody's life. After telling us revelation is our guide, after warning us that the scales is true, now He brings the end, right? And He brings us a scene after all the deeds have been accounted for, and the scene of A'raf. And this is what the surah is actually in regards to, that the people of Jannah will be in Jannah, the people of Jahannam will be in Jahannam, and they'll speak to each other. And then there will be a group who is elevated. And this group, according to the Mufassirin, are a group whose deeds were actually equal. Now imagine this. Imagine 60 years of life, right? 70 years of life, and on the scales, your bad deeds and your good deeds are actually equal. Amazing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is showing us the precision of this, that even that amount of deeds, maybe millions, billions of deeds, that actually they'll be weighed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is just, and some people's deeds will actually be equal. And this is a warning for us, that we should constantly live. We shouldn't have complacency about our good deeds, that we should always live in between fear and hope. And this constantly questioning, will my deeds be accepted? Umar radiallahu anhu, he said that if a voice came, and who is Umar, right? He said if a voice came from above, and it said that every single person will enter Jannah except one, he said, I fear that one would be me. So subhanallah, and this is Umar radiallahu anhu. So we have to always, iman bayn al-khawf wa raja, it's between hope and fear. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us tawfiq. Barakallahu feekum. Inshallah, we'll give the adhan early today and enough time for sunan, inshallah, and then we'll read the ashar.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله